Hey guys, it's Michael Troy from Yorba Linda, California, and I'm going to be doing iCT lesson 10.1, and this one's a little bit trickier than most lessons, so I'm going to be breaking this into 3 segments, and they're going to be fairly difficult, so prepare yourself. Okay, so first we're going to be making our tester class. Okay, this is the same as any other. You should know what to do from here. Public static void main string arguments. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we're going to be making our string editor class. The difference between this and our previous classes is that we are going to be using static methods, which means we do not require constructors since we... Okay, basically what a static means, something belongs to a class itself, not the object. Therefore, like a static variable, if I were to say make a bunch of like box objects, but then there's like a static variable, that means that static variable belongs to every single box object, and it can be modified or read by every single box object. However, not just one box object can have it. It has to belong to all of them. By the same idea, a method that static belongs to the class itself, not the object. Okay, so since we're not making objects, we don't have to. Well, it's actually just gonna make our life a lot easier. So we're gonna be making the reverse method. Okay, the way we're gonna be doing this is putting in obviously our input and our base case is going to be it's a little hard to explain, so let me draw it out for you really quick. Okay, let's say we have the A, B, C, and D. Let me write that a little bit better. B, C, and D. Okay, the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to say, okay, how many letters does this consist of? Okay, we have 4 characters. Okay, the way we're going to go to see this is by making this D, C, D, A, B, C. So basically, we just transfer the D to this side, okay? Next, we're going to be transferring the C to this side, so that becomes C, D. Wait, no, that's not what we're doing. We're gonna move the C to in between the character we just created and then the original string, okay? So that's gonna be D, okay? We just moved the C, okay? And then the A, B. And then next, this is like the rest of the string, and these are like the characters we made. We're gonna be changing the B between these two. So then that'll form, well, actually just this, because we're gonna make the D, C, and then move the B in between the C and A, like that, which is the same thing. Okay, now that you have a visual representation, let's start coding it. Okay, if base case, let's just say that for now, we don't really know what it's going to be. Something, okay? Else, we're gonna, what are we gonna do when our base case is reached, is finished? We're gonna return its input. Okay. I'm thinking about this. Let me just write it out for now and explain it in a second. It'll make a lot more sense now that I'm thinking it. So, return input dot character at input length. I think this is -1 plus reverse input dot substring 0 all the way to the end. Don't remember. Okay, so if I recall correctly, this is actually it. Okay, so all we're doing is, okay, you guys need to recall that length calls the function of a string, the actual length of the string, but remember that it calls one more than it should since the elements start at 0, I believe. Okay. So we're gonna have to subtract 1 from that to get its actual length. So this will give us the amount of characters it has. So this has 4. Okay, so this would give us a 4. Okay. Okay, and we're saying at 4. Okay, carry this variable to the front. Okay, and after we do that, write the rest of the string. Okay, and that's all we're doing in this right here. Reverse. Since this is a recursion, it's a little hard to explain, but it says write the rest of the string in the same pattern we're gonna do it. So just take the last letter, put it here, and reorganize each of the subsequent string partials, if that makes sense. So what substring does lets us portion the actual input into the divided segments I was talking about earlier, as in like the A, B, C, then the A, B, then just the A, and then nothing. So when we return the input, or like the modified final value, it's going to be when our string is nothing. Okay, so that's going to be when our input dot length is greater than 1. We're going to run this, and when it's nothing, when we have nothing, we're just going to spit out what we created. Okay, so it's really hard to explain, but all we're doing is just taking the last letter, inserting it in the beginning, taking the last letter, inserting it into the second, and so on and so forth. It's basically like if you have a bunch of blocks and you're just taking the first one and just reorganizing it, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. That's basically all we're doing. Okay, so next we're going to be working on our clean string. This is a private. No, I think it's a public actually. No, it's a private value. I just remember. Or a private method. So it's private static string. Clean string. Okay, it's going to be receiving a string to clean, and the way we're going to clean a string is by, first of all, making it lowercase. Okay, so most people think that, oh, okay, cool, I just changed this to lowercase, but you didn't. Okay, you're completely wrong. Okay, you have to say input dot input to lowercase. Okay, the reason why we're doing this is we're saying, okay, so we have an input. Let's say we have like let's say our input right now is like lol. Okay, and then that means our input after would be lol. Okay, so what we're saying is what we have right now, lol, is equal to lol just lowercase. Okay, so we're overriding our original string to be lowercase. Okay, all this says is this provides just a replica of a copy of a string. Okay, this does actually absolutely nothing. It's like basically the same thing as saying we have to say x equals 5, right? We can't just say 5. That won't do any good. Okay, we have to say x equals 5. By the same idea, we have to say input is equal to input dot lowercase. Okay, by the same idea, we have to say input dot trim. Okay, this one's optional, but I thought I might do it as well because it would make sense. Okay. Now, I'm wondering if I should explain arrays to you. No. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna remove any periods, commas, question marks, exclamation points, and apostrophes. Okay. The way we're gonna be doing this is saying. Let's see, we can replace, oh yeah, we can replace with null, with /0, I just remembered. So we're gonna say input is equal to input dot replace, and what we're gonna replace is the character, whatever this character is gonna be. So this character, and we're going to replace this character with nothing. And the way we write nothing is /0, \0, and then as a character literal. You can't just say comma, comma, yeah, apostrophe, because you can't represent characters as empty literals. That's just a no-no. Okay. So what we're gonna replace as nothing is space. So let's say we have the here. Let's say we have a string that says yo, I'm Michael. Okay. Okay, okay, so after this, it's gonna say, yo, I'm Michael with no capitals, okay? And just for the sake of the trim part, let's just say there are spaces right here, okay? And then afterwards, it would trim them off to become this, okay? Or I mean this, okay? Once we say replace space with nothing, okay? This is nothing. It's not like a /0, remember, guys. Okay? That would make it become this, okay? After that, we would say the comma. Okay, this is where arrays would become really useful. But I guess we're learning that a lot later. And apostrophes are special characters, so you're going to have to use the \. So if we go through the order of processes, it should go like this. So from all of these, it says lower the capital, the capitals, and trim the ends. Okay, cut out the spaces, cut out the commas, which you don't have, cut out the periods, which we don't have, cut out the apostrophes, which we do have, and then we're done, and we got this. Okay, there's actually more characters you could do, such as like the exclamation point or like question mark or something like that. But basically, you'd have to do like this process for every single character literal that you don't want, and that would take quite a while, and this video would be kind of pointless. So we're gonna skip that for now. And if you come across a case where you do have to remove a question mark, all you need to know is you just need to go like this and like add a question mark or something like that. Okay. But anyways, let's move on. Once we clean the string and we have a bare string, let's call it that, we can finally use. Oh, I just realized reverse should be a private string, I think. The only public, yeah. So according to Mr. Elliott's website, I think palindrome should definitely be public, and public static string. It's going to return a string back, or no, it's going to return a boolean, and it's going to tell us whether or not a string, which is going to be our input, is or is not a palindrome. Okay. And the static basically just means, like as I've explained before, it belongs to the class, not the object. So the way we're going to be doing this is saying input is equal to, because remember we're replacing the input. We can't just say that there's a string. Okay, we have to replace the input. We're gonna say input is equal to clean string input. Okay, once we do that, we're gonna say reverse it. So now our new input is reversed. Reverse input. Okay, and now let's check if I'm not really remembering how I checked. Oh, I just remembered. So what we have to compare is our original input with our reversed cleaned input. Okay, so these both have to be clean. Okay, we can't have any of that like random comma and like period nonsense, or else that would screw up our palindrome either way, forward or backwards. Okay, but what we're comparing is the input, the original input. Okay, so what we have is a clean input to the reversed input. Okay, so conveniently we have this thing called reverse. Okay, so we're gonna return if input is this, then it's gonna return a true, and if it's not, it's gonna return a false. But as a technical term to do this, we're gonna say input dot equals. I'm a little worried I'm making a lot of syntax errors because I don't have my word like fully with me, with my notes on it. So I think it's equals. I'm not sure if it's equal. No, that wouldn't make sense. It's equals, yeah. Reverse input. So it's basically saying clean the string. We have none of that random garbage. And check if our input, our clean input, is equal to our reversed input. Okay. Remember, when we say reverse input, we are not setting it equal. That's why it's convenient to have a string, or these values not be changed as we're going along. Which in C++, if you use like pointers or something, they would be. But that's a story for another day. Okay, so we can say, remember, we're not creating any objects, so let's just call right here, let's create a variable, not an object. Okay, string my word equals lol. Okay, that's a palindrome. Okay, string not palindrome equals dude, WTF is this. Okay, and then now we're gonna say if my word I'm sorry, if string editor dot palindrome my word, then system dot out dot print line cool beans, it's a palindrome. And if it's not, we're gonna say meh. Okay, so right now it's only checking my word. Okay, so it should say true. Let's see, input dot length, and there's no return type. Oh, I just realized an error I just made. Okay, so there's no return type, so just at the end we're gonna have to say return input. An even shorter way of saying this would be our final. We're gonna return our final, like, modified one with the final modification. Okay. Cool, it's working. Okay, so lol, cool beans, it's a palindrome, okay? Let's check not a palindrome. Not palindrome, okay? This isn't a palindrome, so it should say meh. Awesome, so as you guys can see, this palindrome tester is working in fact. And if you wanted to make it print out the values, you would, or like the actual palindrome, you would just have to make a reverse and clean string public, and then you would have to clean the string and reverse it, and that's basically it. Remember, when we're doing this part, I went kind of fast for this part, so let me explain it really quick. If you guys recall, we did like math.pow, and we would say something like 26 to the second power or something, okay? What math.pow is actually is like it has like some sort of like same sort of like public class, okay? So let's say this was like math or something, and then it would have like public static pow, and it would like receive like two values, like double like the first number and like the amount you want to square it by, okay? Or like the amount you want to raise it, the exponent by, or the base. I'm sorry, I'm really sleepy right now. So basically, that's all that's happening right now. We're referring to the string editor class, and then we're saying we're accessing its class method. Okay, it's static, so we can access its class method without without creating the object. Okay. And then from here, we're just entering its parameters, and it's checking if it's true or false, because it returns a true or false, and that's all that's going on. So anyways, this is only the first segment of the next ones. The other ones are for sure going to get harder, because I've done them, and yeah, they're not pretty. Anyways, see you guys later, and yeah, good luck.